Get weird. While you sit comfortably in your own homes watching this, comedians are going to be in their own homes telling jokes to a room full of nobody. You'll witness stand up comics as well as characters attempting this absurd way to perform comedy in quarantine. And if the alcohol moves you to do so, we do have a virtual tip jar set up for our performers with instructions on how to make a donation. So, por favor, keep that in mind as the show goes on. All right, that's enough chit chat from me. Let's get this show started. Our first performer is a comedian who has performed all across Texas and the Southwest and is coming at you tonight from her kitchen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Take it away, Karen Carson.
Thanks, Diane, and thanks for everyone tuning in tonight for the Rubber Room. I'm sure I look like a very confident lady, like I could Ziploc bag 27 chicken breasts for the freezer, or maybe cook up a few pot roasts. But you know what? Confidence is not what I feel right now. What I feel is anger. I am angry about coronavirus. I am angry about the lack of testing in this country. And I am angry that this is not the apocalypse that I prepared for. Now in February, like you, I heard about this coronavirus and I'm going to prepare. I'm a prepper, so I stocked up on apocalypse movies and I started watching. Only now that we're several weeks in, I've realized this is not the apocalypse I prepared for. Like the first movie I watched was The Road. And I'm supposed to be on the road with Mortensen, right? Killing cannibal after cannibal after cannibal. When all I'm really doing is up can after can after can of Campbell's soup to feed my husband. And what about one of my favorite apocalypse movies? Independence Day. I'm supposed to be wearing cool sunglasses and strapping on a flight suit and going after those aliens in my spaceship. When all I'm doing is putting on a face mask and standing on an X in front of Albertsons for half an hour. Now, the ultimate insult is realizing that my life is not Mad Max Fury Road. That's a great apocalypse movie, and it taught me that I was going to spend all day blowing shit up. And I haven't been blowing anything up. Like today, I churned butter, and then I did 2 loads of towels in the laundry room. As you can see, this is not maximizing my skill set. As you can tell, I'm punching way below my weight class. And I did want to share with you a few of the mistakes that I have made in this pandemic. Now, because I'm resorting to prop comedy these days, I can even show you a few of them. Like first up, Zatarain's rice and beans. I don't know if you've ever had these, but allegedly in every box are 4.5 servings. And if, let's say, you make 4.5 servings on a Friday morning for your second breakfast, watching Hoda and Jenna Bush Hager and friends, if you go for a coronavirus test after that, you are going to fire off the charts. There is so much sodium in this, you are going to shut your organs down. So that was a lesson I learned early on. Here's a second one. This may seem like a perfectly good bottle of $3 wine you might buy at 7:30 in the morning at Sprouts. It's called CK Mondavi and Family. It's a Pinot Grigio. But look closer. CK Mondavi, this I've learned is not a wine. CK Mondavi and Family is a cover band you would see on a Wednesday night at Choctaw Casino. Avoid it. Here's my last mistake, which was really my first. In the early days of the pandemic, I did some panic shopping because, guys, the shelves were almost empty down at the Albertsons. And I bought this can of Progresso soup. Now, if I'm honest with you, I'll let you know I have never eaten Progresso soup in my life. And I chose a can of chicken corn chowder. with pork shoulder bacon flavor. As you can see, just from looking at the label, friends, this is not soup. This is a cat vomit. I haven't eaten this can of soup, but I will tell you this. If I ever find myself opening up this can of soup, I am going to send a night flare into the sky so you can all see, because that is truly going to be the end of our days. And when you see that night flare, friends, I want you to do something for me. I want you to strap on that flamethrower, and let's all go save the universe. All right, that's my time. Diane Michelle, who do we have up next?
All right, up next, let's hear from a guy who really wants you to feel the comedy club experience, comedian David Jessup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pandemic Punchlines with a Z, America's #1 coronavirus comedy club. Now turn your cell phones off, put your funny bones on, and put your hands together for your opener, your feature, and your headliner, David Jessup! All right, make some noise, person! Well, it's good to be here, and I gotta tell you, this apocalypse has got me freaked out. Listen, I've seen The Road Warrior, I've seen Mad Max Fury Road, and I've seen Bachelorette Season 3, and I cannot pull off post-apocalyptic fashion. I mean, look at this body. I can't look good in a half shirt, shoulder pads, and a mohawk. I've got a forehead. I mean, a 5-head. They'd call this a no-hawk. No-hawk. Hey, how you doing? Would you like something to eat, drink? Well, okay. I mean, there's a 2-item minimum, so you have to get something. It's whatever combination you want. It's actually on the sign as you walk in. It says 2 water you want. 2 waters. Great. All right. So who here likes impressions? Do you like impressions? Here's an impression of me from 6 months ago. I wish I could quit my day job to pursue a career in stand-up comedy, but I'm too much of a pussy. And here's an impression of me today. I'm so glad I'm a pussy. Oh, am I right? All my professional comedian friends are screwed, totally out of work. I still have a day job. I know, it's kind of mean to say it like that, but it's just how I feel right now. The thing is, though, I gotta actually go into work because I am an essential employee. I feel like an oil, yeah. But I told my boss, I was like, hey, do you think I can get some hazard pay? And he goes, if you ask that question again, your pay is gonna be hazardous. He doesn't really want me to ask that question again. Your 2 waters. Just so you know, the kitchen's about to close, so if you don't want, that's 2 waters, that's gonna be it for you. Oh, okay. You know, a lot of people are using meditation and yoga to deal with the anxiety brought on by coronavirus. But me, I use corn pops and the Tiger King. Am I right? That guy is crazy. And what about his haircut, man? That mullet? I tell you what, that's the thing the coronavirus and Tiger King have in common. They're both bringing back the mullet. Because the Tiger King, he's from Oklahoma, and that's where mullets are. And the coronavirus is preventing people from getting their hair cut. So a lot of guys are going to have mullets when this is over with. Okay, here's your water plus tip there. It's $15. Yeah, it's the gratuities included. I don't make the rules. It's $5 for each bottle, and plus $5 tip. It's $15. So, okay, we take card. We don't take cash. Cash is incredibly dirty and filthy, and no one should be using cash anymore. Okay, so just whatever you want. I tell you what's weird is watching movies now, right? During this whole pandemic, I'm watching a movie the other day and I start yelling at the screen. I'm like, hey, why is everyone touching everybody? And where are all the Clorox wipes? And why isn't anyone washing their hands? And don't even get me started on the sex scenes. Gross, am I right? Speaking of sex, you know, new studies are coming out saying that the coronavirus is actually sexually transmitted. And when married couples around the world heard this, they all breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, it's funny because it's true. Okay, well, you know what, folk? It has been really nice. Thanks for coming out. I'll be here all month. Actually, 2 months. I'll be here till June. So make sure you tip your bartenders and waitresses to the same person and drive safe. I'm just kidding. You can't drive anywhere. You're stuck here till June also. Okay, thanks.
That last video was made by local comedian David Jessup. You can watch his stand-up on YouTube at David Jessup, or if you want to watch his creepy stop motion videos, you can find them on Facebook at Stop Motion Nightmares. And now, joining us from his private compound in an undisclosed location somewhere in America, survivalist Russell Claymore.
Well, well, well. Looky who is in a predicament. The whole damn world, it seems. And I told y'all so, didn't I? But did any of y'all listen? Oh, hell no. For the past 15 years, I have been hearing nothing but preppers are so dumb, blowing everything out of proportion. When Jade Helm happened and Obama unleashed his chemtrail operation, y'all call me paranoid. You did. You made fun of me. You said I was wasting my time. Well, now look at you. Bunch of morons freaking out, fighting over two-ply, crying because they're sold out of your Zimas and you can't get your pumpkin spice latte. Meanwhile, I'm having the time of my life. My farmers only account has never been more active. There's a lot of fish out there, and tons of fine ladies are holding them up for pictures. Keep those fish pics coming, ladies. I love them. Oh, but I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared, Russell. I'm out of essentials. What do we do, Russell? What do we do? Well, I reckon I can offer some advice. So I would like to start things off just by simply saying, I told y'all. But I'm not here to gloat. Look, I don't watch the mainstream media. I've never seen The Price is Right. Okay, but I hear things. I see y'all buying up all the supplies, freaking out. So first things first, y'all gotta get your shit together. All right. Now I'll walk you through some key survival tips. But first, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Power Prepper 13, to receive daily survival tips. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is hand sanitizer. Now, in order to properly prep, you have got to find a dual use for everything. Can you buy the Purell right now? No, you cannot. Can you find rubbing alcohol? No. Can you buy potatoes, though? You're damn right you can. And you know what potatoes can make? They can make vodka. And you know what hand sanitizer has in it? Alcohol. You with me? If so, find me on YouTube, Power Prepper 13. Look up my potato mashed potato recipe video. I'll show you how to load up on carbs and vodka while making a life-saving hand sanitizer. Now, next up, your precious face masks. Now, again, if y'all had taken my advice these past 10 years, you'd have enough N95 to last a lifetime, but you didn't. So here is how you build the world's safest homemade face masks. And you're only going to need 3 things. 1, the good book. 2, duct tape. And 3, a pair of, where are they? Oh, here we go. A pair of ladies' panties. And now I am an advocate, but I'm going to be honest with you, this is not the time for crotchets, okay? Now the Bible has more than good advice in it, okay? In this case, it can offer you physical protection. Talk about the armor of the Lord, you know? So please, everybody get out those Bibles, open them up to Proverbs 22:3, and behold, the prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Sounds familiar, don't it? That's why we're busy prepping, protecting ourselves, and letting the simple go outside to face the wrath. Now, all you're going to do is gently tear that page right out of your Bible. I know it feels wrong, but the big man will understand. And then you fold it over once and place it right in the taint area of your painters. If you don't know what the taint is, Google it. Don't use the image search. Next, fold the panties over one time and loop some duct tape in what are now perfectly fitting ear holsters. And bammo, you now have the protection of the good book with the softness of a cotton poly blend. Now, for a visual step-by-step, because I know I didn't go all through it with you this time, just visit my prepper board on Pinterest at user Powell Prepper 13. And now, finally, let's address the subject y'all are going the most crazy about, toilet paper. Now, I like to call this next set of tips my do-do-dos and my do-do-don'ts. I mean, my gosh, TP of all things. And sidebar, you know who's behind this TP shortage, don't you? I mean, if you watch OAN or InfoWars, I'm preaching to the choir. But if not, it is Big Bidet. You should know. They've been behind it from the start. Think about it, y'all. Seriously. All y'all hoarding TP are just being silly. And here's why. It takes up too much storage room for a long quarantine. But you know what doesn't take up too much space? Right behind me, I have got a closet. And it is floor to ceiling filled with packages of masa corn flour. Oh, but Russell, what does that have to do with TP? Well, I'm going to explain. Okay. You know what goes into a tortilla? Flour and water. That's it. That's the total ingredient list. You know what flour and water is? Toilet disengradable. Okay. So I'm going to share a little life hack with you. Okay. Every day I make 8 fresh tortillas, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner, and then I save back 4 to handle the BMs that follow. And as a bonus, they feel as great as they taste, especially when they're warm. Oh, but that's crazy talk, Russell. Is it crazy? Think about it, okay? I would have to use 40 square feet more storage space to have just the equivalent of TP. And the last time I checked, TP ain't got no nutritional value. And here's a bonus tip from me to you. Use corn for number 2s, flour for number 3s. If you don't believe me, you will. And you want something that can make you smile end to end during a pandemic? Tortillas is where it's at. Now, to download your own do-do-dos and do-do-don'ts workbook and even more tips, remember, all you got to do, go like my Facebook page, okay, and look for the playlist, Tortillas, not just for dinner. Well, thank you. God bless.
Well, we've all been getting very important emails from companies and brands with their thoughts and feelings about coronavirus. This next bit from Comedy for the Internet imagines what it would be like to meet those emails in person. Let's check it out.
Boy, this COVID-19 is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, our lives have just changed in such a real way so quickly.
Do I know you? Or
But at Toyota of Richardson, we've updated our business
Okay.
practices to account for
Okay.
social distancing policies.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, doing everything we can to help you stay safe and confident if you want to purchase or lease a new model.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. It's really not top of mind.
It's a challenge, but we're committed.
Not really a priority for me, so I'm good.
Anyway, if you want to come in,
No.
I could set you up with maybe an appointment.
All right. Yeah, this is my home, so I can't leave, I guess.
Everything in life is a negotiation.
That last
When you
piece
cross
was
the
made
street-
by Danny Neely. And if you want to see more of his comedy stylings, you can subscribe to his channel, Comedy for the Internet, on YouTube. Next up is a stand-up comic who hails from England, but has lived in Dallas for 20 years. When not sheltering in place, you can see him perform all over the DFW Metroplex. Please welcome David Parsons.
Right, Ted, we're up in a minute. Time to get ready. Don't let me down, old boy. I mean, I'm a highly regarded attorney and an up-and-coming stand-up comic, and I have a reputation to keep up. So I'm doing this show called The Rubber Room, and the idea is that we do it without any people in the audience, so I thought that you would be the perfect audience for me. People might think I'm crazy if they know I talk to a stuffed bear. What, doesn't everybody do that? I mean, you and me, Ted, we go back longer than any of my so-called real friends. You've been always there for me. Yes, apart from those 10 years where I put you in that box with the other toys because I thought you were too big for you. You're never going to let me live that down, are you? You were my best friend growing up, Ted. I mean, there was Albert, my imaginary friend that we used to have tea with, but he kind of disappeared when I started elementary school. I always wondered what happened to him. Perhaps he moved away. We wouldn't really have minded this social isolation back in England, would we, Ted? The English actually like keeping to themselves and not talking to other people. A couple of months where we couldn't get within 6 feet of our neighbors would have been like heaven. No more awkward conversations about the weather or having to avoid party invitations. But I've become Americanized and I actually miss people. What's that? You'll always be an English bear? Okay, Ted. All right. You know what I really miss, though? Comedy. Telling jokes and making audiences laugh. I just miss it so much. Yeah, I know you always laugh at my jokes. And you're right, you never heckle. But shouldn't we really be sharing these great bits I've been writing with the public? You got some jokes you wrote for me? Okay, Ted, let's hear them. I don't know. What do you call a lady bear on her period? A grizzly bear. That's a good one. You got any more? Okay. What is a polar bear's favorite 90s musician? Seal. That's fantastic. One more. What do you call a bear who lives in the Arctic and likes both male and female bears? Bipolar. Oh man, that's a keeper. Okay. This show is going to be awesome. I love you, Ted Bear. Thanks for keeping me sane throughout this lockdown. If I didn't have you, I would have gone totally crazy. No one loves me like you do. And it's great to have someone who's seen me at my worst and I can just be myself with. What's that? We've been live that whole time and people are, we're on the internet. You just saw a blinking light. Shit, our time's up. We'd better get off for the next comic. You ready? Let's say goodnight to the folks, Ted. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a lovely audience, and I've been David Parsons and Ted Bear. Bye.
All right. Let's keep this train on track, shall we? Here to talk about how the pandemic is affecting her small business, everyone's favorite e-girl, Crystal Cams.
Hey guys, it's me, Crystal Cams. It's so great to see you all tonight. Let's see, who do we have in the chat? Oh boy, lots of regulars. I see Richard Long 94, and here's Rub Raw, and it looks like Indiana Bones just logged on. Hey Indy, welcome back boys. Are you ready to cam with me? Well, tonight's gonna be a bit different, and by that I mean I'm not going to take my clothes off. And I see some people are already logging off, but that's okay. I actually have something really important to talk about, and it's good that all my favorite regulars are here to listen. Let's look what else chat is saying. We wouldn't leave you. That's so sweet, Basement Dweller 69. And I'm so alone 23 says, I have literally nothing else in my life. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your support, you guys. So with this whole coronavirus thing going on, a lot of people are working from home. With so many of you guys working from home, my engagements have skyrocketed, and I've been streaming more than ever. You guys being able to jerk it while at work has really helped me raise the bar for crystalcams.com, so thanks for that. But a big downside to COVID is that lots of people are also out of work, And what's really surprising is that a lot of young, attractive girls who've lost their jobs have started to become cam girls to make ends meet. Like, a lot of girls. Over the last few weeks, the cam girl market has become completely saturated. I don't want to come across as callous because I really feel for these girls. I can relate to them. You may not know this, but before I became a game changer in the cam girl industry, I actually lost my job at Chili's when our location was shut down because of an E. coli outbreak from some tainted eggplant. By the way, guys, remember to tune in to Taint Tuesdays. That's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on crystalcams.com/taint. Anyway, I know how these girls feel. I've been there. But from a business standpoint, they're really disrupting the market in a way I've never seen before. I'm used to a popular new girl coming in on the market and creating some healthy competition every now and then, but this is ridiculous. I had the cam girl market cornered before this virus. With all this new competition, I knew I needed to find some innovative, value-added solutions that would move the needle for crystalcams.com and allow for me to pivot my business model during this paradigm shift. So I calibrated on this for a while, did some blue sky thinking. I thought about picking some low-hanging fruit by selling my used underwear and bathwater, but with the coronavirus, that didn't seem like the best idea with all the sanitary issues involved. But still, make sure to tune into Bath Time Thursdays at 9 p.m. on crystalcams.com/bathtime. So then I realized the problem wasn't the number of new girls. It was the girls themselves. Don't get me wrong, I would never want to disempower another woman, and I'm the last person to shame someone for earning a living as a sex worker. What's really upsetting about this whole thing is the lack of artistry from these girls. Being a cam girl is a form of art that needs to be honed and respected. I'm not seeing that respect from a bunch of amateurs who are just duck-facing. That's why I've started Crystal Cam's Artistry of Eroticism online workshop, where I will teach new cam girls the ins and outs of the industry. I'm going to help them develop their craft, augment their talent, and get on top in the business. With this online course taught by yours truly, new cam girls will learn customer-centric best practices to gain and keep repeat customers. Classes will include teasing, how to take off your clothes without really taking off your clothes, properly puckering lips, duck facing is for the birds, choosing site moderators, how picking guys who are mildly obsessed with you can protect you from guys who are dangerously obsessed with you. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here, but I've worked long and hard for my success in this industry, so now I'm going to streamline what I know and share it with any newcomers who want to learn from it. I will mold them like a lump of awkward, duck-facing clay into a sexy, erotic pot or whatever. The synergy between my professional experience and their desperation for an income will allow us to set a new benchmark in the cam girl industry. I want crystalcams.com to be the tip of the spear in the online erotic workshop industry. So any girl who signs up this month gets a discounted admission into the Crystal Cam streaming network. Upon completion of the course, they can sign up at crystalcams.com/discount/justthetip. Now this is where you boys come in. If you know any girl looking for work in a post-coronavirus world who could benefit from this workshop, send them that link. It could be your sister, your girlfriend, your sexy cousin you've always had dreams about, anyone. Well, that's all for tonight, boys. I have a hard stop at 9:30, so I'm going to give you some of your evening back. Good night.
Folks, we would like to pause for a quick commercial break. One of Stomping Ground's biggest supporters is Louisville Autoplex. And we want to remind you that if you're looking for a fresh vehicle to drive into the horizon or out into the ocean, head on over to Louisville Autoplex, where they can safely and efficiently help you drive away in a brand new vehicle. Now we would like to feature the work of Bryce Baum for Louisville Autoplex, highlighting a classic for the ages.
Should know by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. See, you're the kind of person that believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of horses, Trojan and some of them you. saw all the pictures of the jockeys that were there before me. Believe it or not, I started to worry. I wondered if I had enough class. But it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it alright. You say, baby, I ain't got enough gas. Oh yeah, little red Corvette. Baby, your mind's too fast. Yeah, sure. Little red Corvette. You need to find a love that's gonna last. Oh, body like yours ought to be in chains. He's on the verge of being obscene. No, move over, baby. Give me the keys. I'm gonna try to tame your little red love machine. Little red Corvette. Baby, it's much too fast. Little red Corvette. Need to find a love that's gonna last. Little red Corvette. Honey, you got to slow down. Got to slow down. Little red Corvette. 'Cause if you don't, you go. Little red Corvette. Little red Corvette. Right down to the ground. You got to slow down. You got to slow down.
Again, that was Bryce Baum from Louisville Autoplex. What a beauty. The next comedian is a Chicago-based comic who has performed in festivals around the country and is now hosting a virtual mask-themed comedy show over Zoom. What? Please welcome Sophia Smarandescu.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Yes, I'm hosting a mask theme show. Hit me up if you're interested. But my name's Sophia, and I recently got this haircut after a breakup. I feel like it makes me look like an illiterate Matilda. But yeah, my last name is Smarandescu. It's actually Romanian. And like my dad's name is Basarab, as in I Basarab that ass. But my dad has a great accent. Growing up, I love the way he said certain words, like millionaire. When I was growing up, my daddy liked to keep me grounded by always reminding me that I'm not a millionaire. And he'd do this just by randomly shouting at me when I was doing normal things. He'd be like, "You're not the millionaire!" It's like, I know, we are at a Popeyes, all right? He also said when something good happened, he'd be like, "It's nice, right? It's like we are the millionaire!" Still a Popeyes, Dad. But my parents, they were raised in communism. All right, my parents were raised in communism. But it wasn't a millennial kind of communism, you know, they didn't like pick it up in college. But one of the ways you can tell that my parents were raised in communism is my dad, anytime he wants to say something racist, he'll just dial up the volume on the stereo so the government doesn't hear. It's pretty weird hearing that Argentinians are bloody liars, the beat in my hips don't lie. It's fake stereotypes, so it's not racist. All right. The other way you can tell my dad was raised in communism is he uses the word poison in an unusual amount in conversation. Like when I was a kid, he took me to Disney World, and as soon as we stepped in the park, he turned to me and was like, "We have to leave. I've been poisoned." It's like, you know, you can just admit you hate it here. Saying you can't do something because you've been poisoned is the Iron Curtain edition of the dog ate my homework. But yeah, everybody knows there's two kinds of communism, you guys. There's college communism you get from reading books, and then there's real communism where they burn your books. Yeah, a lot of my friends think my parents are crazy, but it makes sense. Like, my dad's family was exiled. Someone who's been exiled is never going to use the phrase, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." You know, instead they're just like, "When I die, then you'll know." All right. Yeah, I'm actually a first generation therapy goer. It's true. I think there should be a scholarship for people who are the first person in their family to go to therapy. I think it should be called the what do I need therapy for? To go and to cry if my dog dies scholarship. Yeah, my therapist recently asked me if my family has a history of depression. I was like, lady, I was born in Eastern Europe, you know? Like, they don't even call it resting bitch face there. We call it resting turmoil face. It's true though. My family is so depressed. One time my mom was sad and that was like the happiest I'd ever seen her. Yeah, I was raised by a single mom. Anybody here raised by a single mom? Clap it up for yourselves at home. We moved around a lot when I was a kid because my mom was in grad school, which is the pussy version of a military family. And when I was growing up, my mom, she dated a lot when I was a kid, and it was because she didn't raise a cock blocker. And she had this one boyfriend who, when I met him, was like, you can call me Captain Daniel. It's like, Captain Daniel kind of sounds like a cereal mascot who's like banging your mom. I think if Captain Daniel were a cereal, I think the slogan would be, I'm not your real dad. All right, you guys, great doing the show. Nice to meet you. I'm out.
All right. This next performer is a favorite of mine. For those that haven't heard the news yet, my roommate and I recently welcomed some new additions to our family. Here to share our joy with you, Miss JC Hood.
Has been, my quarantine has been very special, y'all. I heard the call right as everything was happening that there were little ones in need, and I decided to answer the call. Now, we haven't told very many people because it's still very new to us and we want to do it the right way. So I'm just going to say it. We adopted, and not just one, but 15. Yeah. I know it's a lot. We didn't expect to take in so many, but we had the room, so why not? And I have to tell you, it amazes me most how quickly they grow. Have you ever really stopped to think how something goes from being just a speck of a bean to a growing limbs, Oh, and then right now, I have to say it's been really difficult trying to make sure that they get all of the nutrients and fresh air and sunshine that they need. But, oh, God, they're just growing so fast. Pretty soon, I'll be having to give them the talk about the birds and the bees. Isn't that right, sweetie? I'm sorry. What? I'm just gonna turn the camera around here a minute. What is that? What? Whoa. No. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this on you? What is? Did you let someone in here? Did you let a stranger in here and just oh my goodness. You let a stranger into your flower and now you are reproducing. I can't. I'm sorry, folks. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. What? You're very sorry. Oh, no, honey. This is not the time for jokes. You are a June-bearing plant. I wasn't expecting to be a grandmother for another month. Oh, God, how could you get someone in here during quarantine? Were you just flaunting it out here on the balcony for everyone to see? You know what? I just want to let you know, those bees, they only want you for your sweet juices so they can rub up all over you, and then they're done. They used you. Oh, and then don't even get me started on the birds that are just going to come swooping in here and literally eat you alive. Do you want that? I want you to think about the consequences of your actions. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. It's just, I didn't think the conversation needed to happen when they were this young. Where did I go wrong? I mean, I knew this would always happen, but I always thought that it'd be the peppers first. Poor sweet little pepper. It's always the hot ones that blossom first. And I know I've got my poor bland little Benedict cucumber batch over here that they're so bland. I thought they'd just grow up old, alone, sour, and pickles. But I have to say, I'm most disappointed also in you, tomatoes. Out here with your pistils and stamens. Yeah, that's right. I've seen you out here self-pollinating. Have you no respect for the reproductive process? I know. I keep asking myself, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? And I think it's when I named you Cherry and Beefsteak. All right, I've got to go. I've got to go deal with these children. I'm so sorry. Have a happy quarantine.
Okay, I'm just going to leave her out there for a few more minutes. Instagram influencers will show you where to travel or how to dress for special events. But what happens when the whole world goes into quarantine? You need help from the social distance influencer, or social distinfluencer for short. That's a weird Spanish word. Let's check them out.
For a lot of people, social interactions are oxygen. And what happens when you don't have any oxygen? You stop breathing. My name's Danny Neely, and I'm a social distancing influencer. I spent the first few days of self-quarantine feeling kind of down, feeling weird. It's just so different than what life normally is. But I woke up one day and realized, a lot of people are probably going through the same thing.
Hey guys, I just got in my new April Ipsy bag, and I wanted to.
If you look on social media, there are plenty of people showing you how to do a makeup tutorial or telling you, the best brunch spots in town, but there's not really anybody helping you know how to stay inside all the time. I don't know about you, but vacation makes me think of sunglasses because I'm usually out. People like getting good advice that works for them. Wear your sunglasses inside. I've found that the posts I make that have good advice in them do well. If you do this though, you do want to go ahead and turn on the lights in all the places and clearly mark which containers are milk. It might be snack recipes or staycationing tips or letting people know about lamps they already have in their house. So today on the story, I want to give you a tour of my top/all 4 closets in my house. Every day if I can just make one person say, I'm at home and that's okay with me, then I've done my job. I don't consider myself an inspirational figure. I just hope that I can show people that there's more to life than going places that aren't your home.
Once again, that piece was made by Danny Neely, and you can see more of his work by subscribing to Comedy for the Internet on YouTube. And please don't forget about our virtual tip jar we got going on for all of these amazingly fun performers we have tonight. All right, next I'd like to introduce a local comic, and she asked that you please lower your expectations so you can actually enjoy this. Here's the ever so confident Brady Walchansky.
All right, hello. I put atheist on my dating profile so I could weed out all the Catholics, and seems to be working pretty effective. Well, sir, hey, not as much has changed in my normal routine since quarantine happened. I mean, I can still go to a restaurant and order takeout and sit comfortably in my car and binge eat, and now it's just socially accepted to do so, and I really like that. I do. Pretty sure I have to keep this PG-13, which means that I can only use one non-sexual F word if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna make it count. The beauty of this isolation situation is that you don't have to see anyone you don't want to see ever. And, you know, you always have like the perfect excuse to never see anyone that you want to see ever. Yeah. So you'll never guess who the F I saw at the Ace Hardware a few weeks ago. I was walking in on a mission, and to the left of me, I hear this voice at the checkout. Hey, how's it going? Just like all casual, like whatever. And I looked over, and there's my ex-husband, Sean. And I guess I had just been imagining the moment we'd run into each other. And eventually, and like, oh, I would just like come off as cool and nonchalant. Not that I think about that ever. Like, I don't care. Whatever. So he's just like smiling at me like a dummy. Like our 8.5 years together meant nothing to him. Like he completely forgot, you know, that 3 weeks after we split up, after being together for 8.5 years, that he just started dating a 22-year-old art student. Not that I care, whatever. So here is my exact reaction to his "Hey, verbatim." Oh, fuck, shit, goddamn. Hi. And then I just like sped back to the back aisle of the store. And then just like the cashier and him were like laughing at me, not that I care, whatever. It's not like, you know, I was having a nervous breakdown in the hardware section for 20 minutes, calling my sister and my aunt, sob, complaining while I was hyperventilating, because I'm not just like some crazy bitch with no self-control, right? I discovered that I'm pretty much allergic to everything after getting anaphylaxis from the cat that I temporarily adopted before rehoming him to my sister, who renamed him COVID. Guess my asthma's pretty bad, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna survive this apocalypse. Unfortunately, asthma sucks. It does. But maybe if I pretend it doesn't exist, it'll just go away. Much like coronavirus, right? Which is definitely not real and totally made up. Seriously, I watched a video about it on Facebook. Man, no one is going to want to see the COVID-19 movie when it comes out. That's all I'm saying. No, seriously. I'm done. I'm Brady Walchansky. I love you all as much as I am capable. Goodbye.
Thank you, Brady. Next, we would like to take you live to the internet where, get this, the CDC is hosting an AMA. What? Take it away. Amanda, the social media intern.
Hi guys, it's Amanda, the social media intern for the CDC. If you're not following the CDC's Insta page, why not? You definitely have time now. Make sure to follow this page and follow my personal Insta at MandaPanda7 with 3 A's at the end before the 7. Anyway, we at the CDC want to make sure that we're being transparent with the public right now. So usually we hold a press conference, but our spokesperson, Sharon, is on a very conveniently timed maternity leave. Just kidding, Sharon. Congratulations. The entire PR department got flights that weren't canceled, which is so great for them. So today I will be doing a live AMA or Ask Me Anything during this ongoing FAQ or forced Amanda quarantine. Just kidding. I love being stuck in Atlanta instead of being with my family in LA. Anyway, let's get to some questions. Okay. At Hakuna Moscato wants to know, what is the cure for COVID-19? Great question. There is currently no vaccine to prevent COVID-19. The best way to prevent illness is to wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds, stay home as much as possible, and keep your distance of at least 6 feet apart from other people. Okay, we've got another question. Fedora the Explorer asks, are smelly farts a symptom? Excellent question. The most common symptoms of coronavirus are coughing, fever, fatigue, shortness of breath. Other symptoms include chest pain and flush in lips and face. So, as you can see, smelly farts are not on this list. Not the President 2020 wants to know, how much bleach should I drink if I get sick? Thank you for that question. I'm not a medical expert, but you definitely should not drink any bleach. Never, ever. I'm pretty sure that would kill you. Looks like we have another question from Rumple Foreskin. Okay, when is the I'm sorry. When is the vaccine coming out? Excellent question. As I said before, there is currently no vaccine to prevent COVID-19. The best way to prevent illness is to wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds. Stay home as much as possible. Keep your distance of at least 6 feet apart from other people. Okay. I see another question from Not the President 2020. It says you should talk about what a beautiful job the president is doing. Also, what if I inject bleach instead? That is not a great question, but thank you for asking. Please do not inject bleach. That will definitely kill you. Again, same questions here. There is no vaccine, guys. I'm sorry. And no, you should not put the sun directly into your lungs. No. Listen, if you put there's no current vaccine for COVID-19. The best way to prevent illness is to wash your hands often, at least 20 seconds. Stay home as much as possible. Keep your distance of at least 6 feet apart from other people. Okay. At Dank Judy Dench says, stop reading the paper and give us some real information. Okay, I don't have any more information. Okay, this is it. This is all I have. They sent me the statement 30 minutes ago. I am not a medical expert, okay? I am not even pre-med. I'm a communications major from the University of Georgia. Go Bulldogs. At Bilbo Swaggins asks, what's a communications major? Okay. I don't even know, okay? I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I was supposed to be at my sister's bridal shower tonight. I should be wearing a crown of baby's breath and a pale pink gown with sparkly heels, looking like aphrodisiac or whatever that Roman goddess lady is called. But now I'm in this random city in this tiny apartment, and I can't even go bar hopping because liquor stores are essential, but bars aren't for some reason. I'm going to finish a bottle of Barefoot Rosé. I'm wrapping this up. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, Amanda. That was kind of beautiful. Now we would like to pause one more time for a word from our sponsors, Louisville Autoplex. one wasn't quite as much about cars, but nonetheless, that's Bryce Baum for Louisville Autoplex. Head over there to check out their showroom or catch them on the internet. This next stand-up Dallas, Texas, who you can find online at funny_4a_girl. Please welcome my good friend, Ruth Banks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, quarantiners. How are we doing? I'm coming to you live from upstairs at my parents' place. So I would say I'm doing good, but you would all know I'm lying. I'll give you a shot of the audience we're working with tonight. Let me see if I can flip this around. Yeah, we've got a golden retriever, a mutt, and my dog Heidi. Yeah, that was a joke about my little brother being a mutt. Not a good joke because we have the same two parents, but I know I wasn't supposed to have any humans in the room for this stream, but I can assure you I grew up with this child and I have smelled some of the things that have come out of him. He is not human. Under no circumstances. All right, back to what's important. Back to me. So yeah, like I said, I'm here at my parents' where I have been forced to move back in. It is tons of fun. Let's get this started. I think we've all gone through some changes during quarantine. Like me, I used to have bright red hair before this started. Like Ariel, you know? Well, like Ariel, if instead of losing her voice, Ariel lost her metabolism. Or like in the end, Ariel still didn't get the Princess Dinglehopper. You know, you understand? Yeah. This quarantine has also taught me that I don't like drinking alone, mostly because I just don't like drinking. But the only thing I like less than drinking is being the most sober person in the room. College taught me that it's too much responsibility. So now for me, drinking is like running from a bear. I don't need to get blackout. I just need to get more drunk than that guy. Let that schmuck hold people's hair back for one night, you know? And I don't know about you, but I'm so bored that these days, you know, when you're texting and you accidentally call someone, I just let it ring because the company's nice. You know, pretend I meant to call, catch up. It's nice, but then you run into that curveball where they turn their video on because quarantine etiquette would dictate that when they turn their video on, you turn your video on, but I didn't plan to make this call in the first place. So what do? You grab whatever clothing item is closest because your college lab partner does not need to see you naked, gnawing on a cold piece of stuffed crust, okay? The world is bad enough. Do not add to it, people. So what do? You grab whatever clothing item is closest. You put that on. But now your college lab partner thinks you lounge around the house in a replica Babe Ruth jersey, which I should, by the way. A replica Babe, yeah, because I'm Ruth and I'm a babe. That joke is so bad I wrote an apology into the script I wrote for this show. I just want that out there. That joke is so bad my dog is making an exit. You can let her go. I deserve it after that. I've walked an audience member in my home show. I just want that out there. I think targeted ads have gotten a little out of control during quarantine also. Because like Facebook, for example, the only targeted ads I'm getting on Facebook are pressuring me to buy Victoria's Secret lingerie. And if there's two things Facebook should know about me, it's that I am quarantining alone. And two, I follow Chili's on Facebook. So like what I'm saying is when I try on the Victoria's Secret Wonder Bra, I just wonder where the bra went, you know? And on top of that, like YouTube. YouTube's ads recently have just been pressuring me to join the military. But like you guys may not know this, I have 16 screws in my spine. I'm not the one you want defending your freedom. Like what I'm saying is I could be taken out by a large kitchen magnet, okay?
That's my joke.
Oh.
What the heck?
I do just
Joke.
okay, if you're gonna
No,
oh,
the show over.
Oh no.
It's my joke.
Oh no. Okay. Diane, you better take it back. I think we're having a rebellion here. You better take it back your way.
Ooh, that was a fun treat. Our next performer is a member of the Folding Chairs sketch troupe and the co-creator of the movie mocking comedy show, The Mocky Horror Picture Show. Please welcome Danny Gallagher.
Go.
Dope.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band about that money, break it down. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, hey, oh! Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band about that money, break it down. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Girl, sent you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe me, 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 just watch. Hey, 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 oh! Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sexed and flown it. If you freak dead and own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sexed and flown it. Well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe me, 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 just watch. Hey, hey, oh!
Thank you, Danny Gallagher. Now, our last live comedian of the night, second to last, his favorite from WEXL's TV's Darn Tootin' Good Time show in Elmira, New York, it's Bronco Brad, the croonin' cowboy.
Well, thank you very much. What a nice hostess you are. That sure is a nice introduction. I sure do appreciate that. Welcome to the Bronco Brad Darn Tootin' Good Time Show with me, Bronco Brad, the crooning cowboy. Well, just give you a little flavor of the show that I do for the kids every weekdays from 4:30 to 5. First off, I'd like to make sure that I do my opening song. You know, when I'm out on the prairie, I don't want to bring out my expensive guitar. That's why I write all of my songs with wooden clackers. Yes, indeed. Here we go. Well, I saddle up when morning breaks, chow down on my corny flakes, chasing doggies across the prairies. Parts are safe and others scary. My legs are never gimpy. Nobody calls me wimpy as I go gaily down the stir trail, galloping along. Galloping along, I sing this cowboy song, snacking on gluten crackers, play my tune on wooden clackers, galloping along, cow dust all up my nose, hop off this path, jump in a bath, and wash my smelly clothes. Yes, isn't that a nice song? Well, hope you boys and girls enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed singing it for you. Well, look who's showed up here. Yes, it's Sparky, the wooden dog, to remind me about our sponsor for tonight. Thank you, Sparky. Yes, our sponsor for tonight is Ted's Corn Dodgers, made with 100% all vegan corn. It sure is good. Be sure to pick up some at your local grocer in the frozen food section. Ted's Corn Dodgers, 100% all vegan corn. Yes, indeed. Well, now it's time for a little made-up tale of the Old West. Here's one I call The Tale of the Velcro Kid. There once was an old cowhand named Toby Maru who wanted to learn to tie his own shoe, but no one could tell him just what to do. So he became the Velcro Kid. He rode into town in his boots and chaps, his 6 guns held tight by Velcro straps. His 10-gallon hat was full of snacks with an apple juice box that his mommy had packed. He could spot each time another man lied when they said, "Hey, look, your shoelace is untied." And he'd shoot 'em in the foot, and they were mighty glad he did. It was an honor to be hobbled by the Velcro Kid. He rode into town in his boots and chaps, his 6 guns held tight by Velcro straps. His 10-gallon hat was full of snacks and an apple juice box that his mommy had packed. Yes, isn't that a nice tale? Yes, indeed. Well, now, boys and girls, it's time for me to do my special song for you folks. You know, when I'm inside cooped up, I am just busting to honky tonk. And so that's why I like to do my honky tonk song for all you nice boys and girls out there. Here we go, rustle up the wooden clackers, tune them up. Sound good. Well, you know, I'm feeling like a monkey swinging from the trees. I'm gonna go honky tonkin' until I'm crawling on my knees. I'll grab a swinging partner and take off all the rust, and we'll go honky tonkin' until my head combusts. I'm gonna honky tonk until my brain explodes. I'm gonna get some ice cream and make pie a la modes. I'm gonna ask my doctor to check out my lymph nodes. Then I'll go honky tonkin' until my brain explodes. Yes, isn't that a nice song? Well, my brain hasn't exploded yet. I'm still doing my show, and I'm sure glad you boys and girls could join us here in this special short edition of the Bronco Brad Good Time Show. Well, boys and girls, last thing for tonight is the safety tip for the night. Our safety tip is, whenever you're reading a James Joyce novel, never, ever try to understand what it's about. If you do, your head will hurt real bad, and your mom and dad will have to take you to the hospital. That's a safety tip for tonight. I gotta go. Till next time, boys and girls. Well, we've hung up our saddles and laid down our tools. The night stars are out burning their nuclear fuels. It's time to change the catbox and go wash our hair. So good night, you cowpokes out there. Good night, cowpokes.
Bronco Brad, everybody. That was a fun treat. Now, remember, we got that virtual tip jar going on, and we really appreciate y'all supporting local comedy. And if you think this looks like fun, that's because it is. And you can learn how to do it too. You can take classes in Stomping Grounds Training Center. Go to stompinggroundcomedy.org for more information. Well, folks, we've reached our last act of the show. To take us out tonight, we're going to watch one more video made by local comedian David Jessup. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Badlands Comedy Zone, where the drinks are never watered down because we don't have water. Now put your hands together for the warrior of the wasteland, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Humongous!
Quiet! No more games. Fear is our ally. I am here for the gasoline. Just kidding, gas is really cheap right now. Anywho, you ever think maybe after the Australian wildfires, Mother Nature was like, oh, you can't stop global warming? Well, here, hold my beer. Ha ha ha. Because, what?